You're about to listen to Enthusiastically Self-Employed, the podcast created for you as a coach, consultant, speaker, and/or author. I created this podcast for those of us who are enthusiastic about growing our business and learning along the way. My name is Brenda Meller, and I'm your host. Prior to becoming enthusiastically self-employed, I was a corporate marketer who always admired those who were self-employed. Through this podcast, I'll share my learnings and expert guest interviews with you. You'll learn business, marketing, and LinkedIn tips to help you as a solopreneur or small business owner. Remember to follow this show to get the newest podcast episodes loaded into your podcast player of choice. Now let's get started. In today's podcast, I want to talk to you about a LinkedIn tool called the LinkedIn Post Inspector. Now, there's a really good chance you've never heard of this tool. It is actually affiliated with LinkedIn. It sits on a LinkedIn webpage, but they make it hard for you to find it. And essentially what it does, it inspects the post and it pulls in the latest image that was associated with a web page or a page description. So it's called LinkedIn Post Inspector, but it's really more of a LinkedIn web page inspector for pages that you post about on LinkedIn. Now that's a mouthful. That's probably why they're calling it LinkedIn Post Inspector. But essentially, it's a tool that recaptures the social share image that you've set on a web page or the description that you have set up on a web page. So let's say, for example, you revamp your website homepage and you're now using a different thumbnail image for that homepage when you're sharing it on social media. LinkedIn doesn't automatically pull it in. You got to go through the LinkedIn Post Inspector and pull that image in, or else you're going to see the outdated image there. Now, lucky me, I was just on a call this morning with a community that I'm a part of, hosted by John Esperian, called Espresso Plus. And just coincidentally, he was asking us about questions, and I asked a question about the Post Inspector, and I said, is this happening for anyone else? And others in the group went out and they said the same thing was happening to them. Whereas in the past, what I would do is just Google LinkedIn Post Inspector, because I never remember the URL. I would pull it up, and then there would be a box inside the top of that web page where you'd put your new URL and you would click on Inspect, and then it would show you in the display area what would appear if you're going to share that in a LinkedIn post. And it was working just fine. I tried this over the weekend. It wasn't working. I tried it again this morning. It wasn't working. Others in the Espresso Plus call this morning tried it as well, and it wasn't working for them. So now I know it's not just me. It's others, and these were actually individuals from the UK and Belgium and other areas of the country. So I know it's not a geographic limitation either. I also did try it in an incognito window because sometimes it has something to do with your cookies and whatnot, and that didn't work. And then I went on my phone thinking maybe it's a memory issue because I've been doing a lot of processing of really large video files lately, and it didn't work there either. So now I'm in the process of trying to figure this out. I did share the same web page on my Facebook, and the right image is displaying there. We're friends on Facebook. Go on my Facebook and you'll see it in the timeline today. It's my speaker page. It's mellermarketing.com/presenter. So now I've got to figure out, is this thing going away on LinkedIn? Are they just disabling this tool? Is it a temporary outage or what's happening? Because I'd like to let my podcast listeners know. I'm also sending out an email to my VIP email list. By the way, if you're not on that yet, go to mellermarketing.com/subscribe, because as a VIP member of my email list, you'll get advanced notifications about site features, site outages, things like that, and also my special offers and events, of course, as well. So here's what I'm doing right now. I went into LinkedIn Help, and this is odd. This is the first time today this happened, where when you click on Contact Us into Help, you normally would get like a box, and you fill out this form, and you can submit your question to LinkedIn. Today, it gave me a chatbot, and the chatbot was... I think, honestly, LinkedIn has the worst chatbots. I'm just going to say it. I'm hoping somebody from LinkedIn is listening to this and they're embarrassed and they run back and they fix this out. But the chatbot basically told me what I already knew. I said the LinkedIn Post Inspector is not working. And it was almost like it ignored me. It said, here's what the LinkedIn Post Inspector does, and here's how to load it. And here's the link to the LinkedIn Post Inspector. And I just said, the LinkedIn Post Inspector is not working. So I was hoping that the chatbot would help me to troubleshoot why it's not working. Maybe there's some internal log on LinkedIn that says the post inspector is currently down or we're disabling this feature. It didn't give me any of those answers. Nor at the end of the chat did it give me an option to fill out a form to contact LinkedIn help. And it did give me the ability to give a rating, and you can give it up to 5 stars. The lowest rating you can give is 1, which is very dissatisfied, which is what I did. And I said, this did not answer my question. So hopefully a human being is looking at this. I'm not too optimistic that they're going to do that. So I'm going to take it into my own hands. And the next thing is I need to figure out how to find that contact us form that you can fill out. LinkedIn makes it really difficult to get a hold of a human being. And because of that, I created a webpage on my website. I'll put the link into the show notes, but it's mellermarketing.com/contact LinkedIn, all one word. And this site will give you the ability to I list out all the different ways that you can contact LinkedIn. Anything related to contacting LinkedIn, I put inside here. Contact LinkedIn customer support. A Google search for LinkedIn help updates with a shout out to John Asperian. He gets 2 shout outs in today's podcast. Is LinkedIn down? LinkedIn events help tickets. There's LinkedIn help, a self-service directory. And then I have a link, and this is the one that I use today. It says, use this link to write directly to LinkedIn without having an account or being logged into LinkedIn. Now, I'm hoping when you're listening to this episode, you haven't lost access to your LinkedIn account, and that's what led you to this podcast. But if that is the case and you can't get into LinkedIn, I do have the link on my website that you can use to go to the form to submit a ticket to LinkedIn to request access back into your account again. It also, on my webpage, I list LinkedIn marketing partners that are approved by LinkedIn. The LinkedIn Post Inspector is still here, reporting non-employees or fake employees to LinkedIn, people that say they worked for you, but they never actually worked for you. There's submit a LinkedIn ticket request and suggest an improvement on LinkedIn. Now, at the very bottom of my webpage, it says last updated November 4th, 2024. As a result of this LinkedIn Post Inspector not working, and as a result of publishing this podcast, I'm realizing that I haven't reviewed all the links on this page in, I want to say, about 1.5 years. We're coming up on 2 years. It's only July in 2026 as I'm recording this, but I'm going to do a once over on each of the links. So if you do happen to visit mellermarketing.com/contact LinkedIn, you might see that some of the links or descriptions have changed. If you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you'll see the last updated date, and it'll probably be today, July 27th. So with that said, I am now filling out a form on the LinkedIn website. I'm going to contact LinkedIn and mention to them that the Post Inspector is down. I'm not feeling too optimistic they're going to give me a straight answer or the right answer. They're probably going to have to escalate it, and eventually it'll sit in the help section for a while, and then they will just expire the ticket. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to get an answer. A lot of times when it comes to getting our questions answered for LinkedIn, what I will tell people is follow the money. Will this feature help them to make more money on the platform? It won't. Honestly, it's probably, if anything, it's a feature that's driving traffic away from LinkedIn. Because think about it this way. I did a post this morning about my speaker page, mellermarketing.com/presenter. That post, my goal is to promote myself more as a speaker, to drive people off of that post to my website, so to take traffic away from LinkedIn. Now, the average person might try to publish a web page, realize that social share image is outdated or the description hasn't been updated to the new description, and they might get frustrated and say, forget, I'm not going to put a link in there instead. And that will keep traffic on LinkedIn, right? Follow the money. Keeping people on LinkedIn makes LinkedIn more money. Sending people off of LinkedIn does not make LinkedIn more money. So I don't think they're going to fix this. I'm not optimistic, but I've been wrong before. Maybe I'll be wrong again today. I hope I'll be wrong. LinkedIn, prove me wrong if you're listening to this. So with that said, this is Brenda Meller helping you to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. And in the meantime, helping you to understand these little idiosyncrasies of this amazing, powerful, yes, I love LinkedIn. And you got to hate it sometimes too, right? But it is an amazing platform. And I've literally built a business because LinkedIn is confusing. So I guess for that, I say thank you, LinkedIn. If you did enjoy this episode and we are connected on LinkedIn, send me a DM and let me know. Or I'm always open to your questions and feedback, brenda@mellermarketing.com. With that said, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on LinkedIn. I'm interrupting this podcast episode to remind you that I've got an upcoming event that you might be interested in. especially if you're curious about my Marketing with Meller membership program and you want to look behind the curtain before deciding whether or not to join for yourself. This is a virtual open house. It gives you a chance to tour the member experience, to see what's inside, and to get your questions answered by me. No obligation, no pressure. The final session will be offered on Friday, July 31st from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern. Go to mellermarketing.com/MWM open house, and I'll pop the link into show notes as well. I hope to see you there. The final session will be offered on Friday, July 31st from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern.